So you're telling me this is how the girls turn up? Then I'ma stick with the girls.
You better talk nice to me. I'm in your head, I invest. That's a short-term fee. Got it locked, I'm the best. Well, at least that's what I do.
What's up, guys, and welcome to the Girl Social. We are your hosts. I am Taylor Kessler.
And I'm Sydney McPhail.
Happy Love Month, everybody.
The month of love.
All the love, the feels. You guys are listening to this on Sunday. If it is Sunday, happy Super Bowl Sunday, or may I say Swifty Bowl Sunday.
Taylor Swift's day.
It's Taylor Swift Day in our mind.
Did you see that she's about to release Reputation?
No, she's
Taylor's
not.
version or something?
No, she's not.
I saw this whole thing, and I don't understand the breakdown, but it was like, this number means this, and she said this, and if you reverse that, it means that it's coming out February.
Here's the thing. As a Swiftie, and I'm a big Swiftie, and I fall into all the things, there are so many times that we were like, oh my God, Reputation's coming out. She's dropping Reputation this day. You know she's dropping it this day. And I've just given up on the dream. I'm a Reputation girl. That is my one of my favorite albums. I'd probably say my favorite album. And I just choked on my cup.
Oh no.
I just have given up on Reputation coming out. I'm not listening to other Swifties' forecasts. So she always drops an album, a new album, and then 2 re-records, and she only has 2 left. So she's dropping April 19th,
the
Tortured Poets
yes.
Department.
Am I about to have to do the Heimlich?
Oh my gosh. No, you're fine. I'm fine. Yeah, she's dropping Tortured Poets Department April 19th, and then I think Reputation will come out after that. It's so hyped, and it keeps people entertained, so I don't think it's happening soon. And if it does, then oh my God, I'm going to freak out. But yeah, I don't think so. I'm but I'm so excited for her new album.
Me too. I feel like it's been forever.
Oh, it's been since October of 2022. That's when she dropped Midnights.
Oh my gosh, Midnights. I love Midnights.
I do love Midnights. I'm a Midnights girly.
I came around. I think Lover was my least favorite, but I came around to it.
It's a love album.
I know. And for a long time, Speak Now was just my go-to. I don't know why.
That's Max's favorite.
I love Speak Now.
He is a Speak Now slut. He loves it.
I remember when it came out, I bought the whole album because you still had to buy everything on iTunes.
Yeah.
And I bought the whole album. I was like, I don't care.
It's so good. No, I mean, all her music is great. Speaking of Taylor Swift news, this is Swiftie forecast. Did you see Kanye came out with a new song?
No.
And put Taylor Swift's name in it? I was just talking to Max about it. Let me pull it up. And it's not me watching cheerleading. Let me find it again. Where is she? I just saw it.
Is it mean?
Yeah. It says Kanye's using Taylor's name again to stay relevant. And it says Kanye West name drops Taylor Swift on new track Carnival. She gonna take it up like a ventriloquist. I mean Taylor Swift, since I had the rollie on my wrist. I can't stand Kanye West.
Let sleeping dogs lie?
Yeah.
Just let it go.
He is the
She
one.
won.
She won. She's been winning. You lost. Even Kim doesn't want to deal with you.
No, everyone is out of there.
Everyone left. It's what if you just call up Taylor real quick?
Oh
Yeah.
my gosh.
Yeah. So I'm just
The only reason I'm somewhat here for it, not because of the Taylor slander, is that whatever her response is going to be so much better.
She's just going to drop your Reputation now because of it. Because she's just going to be I'm just going to come after you again with the same songs I already came out with again. She's just, I can't stand Kanye. Ugh.
I have the ick.
I always have an ick.
I've been
with
saying
him.
that all week.
He's always given me the ick. Something about him. I don't have the vibes.
Well, yeah, and especially anybody that goes against Taylor.
Yeah, I'm not.
I'm Team Taylor every time.
You're not my friend.
We are not the same.
We are not the same. But yeah, so that's our Swiftie update. Super Bowl is tomorrow. Chiefs versus the 49ers, which is my heart. I'm I love the 49ers.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't know why.
My mom is from San Francisco, so she grew up loving the 49ers and the Raiders. So those are 2 teams that I love. And Christian McCaffrey's on there, and his fiance is Olivia Culpo, who was Miss USA and Miss Universe, and she's like my idol. I love her. So it's like battle royale for me of like Olivia Culpo versus Taylor Swift, which obviously there's no comparison, but I love them both so much that it's just like,
I don't know like a ton about Olivia, but I have seen her pictures and she's
iconic,
stunning.
She's gorge. I love
stunning, and she always has the cutest game day fits.
Always the cutest outfits. Like I know she's gonna her outfit tomorrow is gonna be iconic, and I know it is because it's Olivia. But I'm really excited. Taylor. Yeah, I wonder what Taylor's gonna wear.
And the thing is, like,
she should be in Vegas already.
How is she? Because I know that she was in Tokyo.
Her tour was in Japan, yeah. So she was in Tokyo, and I think she had a show on the 10th, which they're 17 hours ahead. So it's already the 11th there. So she had a tour she had a show last night. Got on the plane, and she should be in Las Vegas by now if she's coming to the game, which I'm assuming she's going to.
Everyone's in Vegas?
Everyone's in Vegas right now. But what I find so funny is like she has turned down the Super Bowl halftime show so many times, and
now
NFL's like, well, you're going to be here anyways.
And it's Usher. Yeah,
it's going to be Usher. But I think he's going to bring out Justin Bieber, which I will
scream. Scream.
I'm going to like freak out over.
Faint.
Die.
I hope it's good. Who was last year? Eminem was
the year before.
The year before.
Last year.
Rihanna
with the pillow people.
Yeah. I don't remember being overly impressed, but Eminem was cool.
I mean, I love Riri, but I think she announced her pregnancy.
Yes, she did.
Which was iconic.
Yes.
And then the year before was like Snoop Dogg, 50 Cent, Dr. Dre, Eminem. That was iconic. That was cool. Then the year before that was J-Lo and Shakira, which I'm like, damn, they're hot.
When was the weekend? Because the weekend was like weird.
That was the year after J-Lo.
Okay. I remember that one being really weird.
It was so strange.
It makes me think of, do you remember when we watched, what was that show? Popular or?
Oh, The Idol.
The Idol.
Very much Idol coded. Yeah.
We watched that together and we were like,
I was like,
what?
Did I just see what I just saw?
Pardon?
I had to like, pardon? Excuse me? I'm embarrassed.
I'm like, yeah, no. I get awkward whenever I watch stuff like that.
And that's like really like early on in our friendship too. And I was like,
I'm like, are we really, like, we should go.
We should not be watching this together, guys.
We're going to head out.
Yikes. But yeah, so we're excited. We're throwing a Super Bowl party tomorrow. It's us. We're throwing a Super Bowl party tomorrow. I don't know who's all coming. I invited people, but let's be honest, it's probably just going to be Ryan and Sydney that show up, and Joe may come. We'll see.
Joe.
But yeah.
It's going to be a good time.
Yeah, it's going to be a great time. I'm excited. The
I
house
want to
looks
make
cute so far.
I literally was telling Ryan, I was like, I have all this stuff to make I was explaining the charm bracelets to him.
Oh, I have beads too at my house.
And I was like, I'm going to make Taylor one that says, in my wifey era.
I am in my wifey
or
era.
fiance era.
I'm in my fiance era.
I was like, I just don't get it. And I was like, you don't need to.
You don't have to understand. You're not a Swiftie. No. And it's okay. We still love you, Rye.
I will say he came around to her because for a long time he was like, I'm so sick of seeing everything about her. I'm sick of seeing her at the football games. And then
it's barely even 60 seconds. I think they put all together how much time she actually got televised in
nothing.
In NFL, and it was literally I think like total of how much airtime she actually received was 60 seconds.
Well, and the thing is, and I think she said this, but I was like, it's not fair for everyone to hate her. She's not the one doing it.
Yeah.
Like, she's literally just going to the game to support her man.
Yeah. I'm like, there's nothing wrong with supporting your man.
Like, let people live.
All. And it's like, the thing is, like, she's a global phenomenon. Of course, they're going to like put her everywhere.
They're going to emphasize.
It's Taylor Swift.
I would too.
She's like the Cher of our generation.
She never goes out of style, you know?
She's just iconic. She never goes out of style. I love her. Okay. So yeah, exciting week ahead.
Definitely.
We're so excited for Super Bowl, obviously. What were your highs and lows for the week?
My low, I'm not going to go into detail, but there was
somebody tested
a little bit of drama, not with me, but
a little shakeup. Somebody tested. It wasn't even like somebody tested your territory, and
Yeah, and I think that like anytime I see someone that I love and care about hurting, like my protective instincts come out. So I think that like knowing that someone you love is hurting, I think that was my low. My high, can I say tomorrow?
Say it.
The Super Bowl tomorrow.
The Super Bowl tomorrow.
I've been so excited for it.
I'm excited too. You have no idea. I like just asked if I can talk about what my low is, and I'm going to see if I get a response because that's truly what my low was this week. My high this week. I felt like this week was a really good week.
It was.
I had a lot of stuff going on. I was very busy with work. I had to drive to Tyler for a photo shoot. Max goes, "Why are you texting and filming during a podcast?" Sorry,
we're
Max.
hanging with the girls.
We're hanging with the girls. We can do whatever we want. No, so I had a very good week. I feel like work, I was just very focused on work and I had a lot going on. I definitely think that my high is Super Bowl Sunday. I think it's going to be fun. I just love a reason to get everybody together and spend time with my friends. And I even invited my family. I invited Heidi's parents.
Is your family coming?
I think they're gonna come. Like I think my mom and dad are coming. I think Rachel's coming. I don't know if Jessica and my brother are, but I think my mom and dad will be there, and I think Heidi's bringing her mom and dad. So that's gonna be fun. They're gonna meet for the first time. But I just love an excuse to get people together. I'm like very all about it. Okay, so they haven't responded to like my low for the week, but I guess it would be kind of the same thing as that. Like I'm a very loyal person, and when people test the people around me or question, and I think even like with y'all situation, like that drew the line in the sand for me.
It's just
even
really
even with that person, I had nothing to do with any of that, but it draws the line in the sand, and like you don't go against the people I love. And so I dealt with that, and it's like the reason my low was like my low this week, and it wasn't even drama, like it's not drama for me, but somebody tried to put me in drama, and I don't want to be put in that. And like once you put me in it, I'm done. Like I don't like it. I don't want to be in the
just like
confrontation.
an innocent bystander.
I am, and I'm like, there's no reason to put me and Max into a situation that like we have no part of. Like we have no say in a lot of these things that are going on in this like situation. But that was my low. It really, there's people testing the people I like and I love, and I don't like that.
It's a hard no.
It's a hard
because
no for
literally
me.
Taylor, like my situation happened, and within minutes Taylor texted me and was like, "I have so much to fill you in on." And I was like, "No, wait a minute," because I do too. I was like, "Is everything okay?"
"You will never guess." She's like, no. You will never guess. And I was like,
we're both just jaw dropped.
I'm like, I have no words right now. And it's like, we're not even in the drama, but it's like people we know that like are being affected. And I'm just like,
like the mama bear comes out big
Yeah.
time. Big time.
not up in here. But we have so much going on, and like this next week is such a good week. It's gonna be Love Week. We have Galentine's
Oh my gosh,
Day.
Valentine's Day. Yes.
Valentine's Day is next week. And it's all about loving yourself and loving the people around you. Are you coming to the Pilates thing tomorrow?
That's tomorrow?
Yeah.
Okay, yes.
I texted you in the group with everybody.
I thought it was next Sunday for some
No,
reason.
it's this Sunday.
What's next? Next week is your Galentine's. Coming
That's
over to
Saturday.
Saturday. Okay. Whoops.
Sunday.
I have them in my
Pilates.
planner.
Sunday, Pilates, Galentine's
10
Day.
a.m.?
10 a.m.
Okay. Perfect.
It's literally right next to your house.
Okay. Perfect.
Yeah.
Yes.
So exciting.
I'm so glad you said something.
We're doing a Pilates like Galentine's Day class. I'm gonna get our butts kicked.
I've never done Pilates.
Oh, your body's gonna be shaking.
I'm nervous. When you sent that, I was like, oh no, I'm nervous.
You'll be fine. It'll be okay. I haven't done Pilates in a while, but it's one of my favorite workouts. I'm really excited. It's a new place in Sugarland.
And you're instructing?
I'm not instructing. There's a girl that's gonna be instructing.
Okay. Huh.
Yeah, don't worry. It's not.
Just don't
me.
make fun of me if I die.
We'll all be dying together.
Okay.
We will all be. There's like 6 of us. We're all gonna be dying. But yeah. So, what are your Valentine's Day? What are your Valentine's Day plans? What do you got going on?
I don't know.
Neither do I.
I have no idea. Last year we just like stayed home and did like a little like charcuterie board, wine, like
Yeah, cute.
we just like being around the dogs, but I don't know what we're doing this year.
I don't either. Last year that was like our second Valentine's Day together. We went snowboarding and skiing, which was a lot of fun.
Never been.
So good. We have to get you on the slopes. So fun. I loved it. The year before that, was like our first Valentine's Day together, and I went all out for him, and I like snuck into the house and like set up like a candlelight dinner, and I got him like a heart-shaped pizza and did all these little things for him, and like it was cutesy.
You need to do that.
You should. It's so. I have all the candles and like flowers and everything if you want them still. But yeah, Max was basically like, you're not going into work on Tuesday. Like your whole day is like with me. Like don't make plans. Yeah, and I'm like, what are we doing?
I don't know. I'm gonna have to ask him.
Yeah, I don't know what it's gonna be, and it's stressing me out internally.
Look at him.
I know. He's the greatest. Like honestly, like. That man loves, and he like is great at everything.
Well, he's really good at the romantic stuff because you guys went to the like Taylor Swift orchestra thing, and we had met for dinner, but you were late. Like I think you had been at a shoot.
Yeah.
And he was telling us about it before you got there, and I was like, I am so impressed.
I know. I had no idea. Like I didn't know that was happening. And like they started playing, and he's like, "Do you know what this is?" And I was like, "No." Like just blown away. And this girl turned around. She goes, "It's Lavender Haze." And I was like.
You're like, wait a minute. Yeah, Ryan thought that was so cool.
It was so cool. He found it off of TikTok, and he's like, I thought you would love it. And he's like, I thought it was romantic. And I was like, no, it was like everything. It was the coolest thing. I was obsessed.
And
like,
that was for your anniversary, wasn't it? Mm-hmm. I love that. Love that.
Yeah, he was really good at it. He's really good at gift giving.
Ryan said that he has something coming for both of us. It's supposed to be here like Monday or Tuesday. I was like, what is it?
A dog?
He told me earlier. I was like, what is it? And he was like, I'm not telling you.
It's a dog.
We would
Could you
die.
imagine?
Oh my God, no.
You have another one. That's 4.
No.
You're like,
I wish we could take every single doggy in the world, but 3 is a little bit much.
3?
3 puppies. Like, I don't know that we could take any more. I was nervous when we got Willow. Like, I was like, I don't know if this is a good idea. And now I can't imagine.
I love that.
When are you guys going to get?
So we had talked about getting another dog. I feel like there's something on my face. We had talked about getting another dog like recently, and we were like, oh, like we should get one soon, and like because we want another dog, and dude loves being around dogs, and like all of his friends have left. Like Felix now lives in Hawaii and like doesn't see anybody, so it's like he misses like having another dog around. And like when he goes to like my mom's house and she watches him and they have Harley, they love to be like him and Harley love to be together, and like it's just so fun for him. So we're like, we know he wants another dog, and it's gonna keep him young, I think, too, because he is 5 going on 6. But we are just so busy, and like I can't imagine right now having a puppy, because it's like having a child basically, and I just can't imagine that on a schedule with what we're doing and like planning a wedding. And then like the whole wedding we're doing is all around dude, and I'm like, we could incorporate her into the wedding, but like what if she's not as well behaved as dude?
That I was gonna say that. I was gonna say it's always scary when you have such a good dog and you're like, oh no.
It's one of those things where I'm giggly because it's like, oh, like she's a great dog. Like she's gonna be a great dog, but it's like I've seen so many videos like this is the first dog, like so perfect, so great that made us want a second dog, and this is the second dog, and it's like a terror.
The devil dog.
Yeah.
The one thing about having a puppy, because we rescued all of ours, is that you get to
like
shape
train
the dog. Yeah.
Yeah, but sometimes like their energy, like there's sometimes like dogs like just are high energy, are a little bit more aggressive. I mean, it's gonna be a doodle, so it's not gonna be aggressive, but
it's gonna be high energy.
It's gonna be high energy, and dude's just so calm. Like he is the best dog.
He is really good. We need to get him and Theo together.
I know,
because Theo's literally about to turn 6.
We keep talking about like we just need to like I think we need to like meet in an uncharted territory and just like introduce.
Yes, because we've said that since.
I feel like Willie would also like.
Yes, she would.
Dude, I feel like they'd be like playful together.
Will would get along with literally any dog. Bear does not. Like that. Bear is the one that makes us nervous to have dogs in the house.
Yeah,
he's just a little grumpy grump.
He's like, he doesn't even like when people are in the house, aka me and Max.
They love you. They're so weird. It does make hosting so hard.
It takes time. Yeah, I get it.
Because like we want to have people over, but we're like, this is embarrassing.
No, it's not.
Like you guys walk into the kitchen and we're just like, no.
No, they're fine. I just give them treats and then they're like, oh, hey, hey, girl, long time no see.
I actually like you.
You're actually kind of nice. You smell good. You smell like a dog, but you smell good. They like smell dude on my leg. Okay, let's talk about plans for people that don't have a Valentine.
Which can be a little bit tricky
and a little sad.
It is,
but
yeah.
I think it's one of those things where it's not something to be sad about anymore because I feel like Galentine's is so celebrated.
It is. And I feel, for me, like even though I'm in a relationship, I feel like I look forward to the Galentine side of Valentine's Day more.
I agree. I love love, obviously, but like I love celebrating with my girls.
Yes.
It's so cutesy.
And
is that
I'm
why?
just like, yeah. And like, because I think that obviously like Max planned a day for you. And like Ryan, like I know that like Ryan and I are going to do something, but girls so lean into this holiday. Whereas guys, it's not that they feel like they have
like
to.
They're like, oh, I have to do this.
Like this is Ryan's least favorite. Like he's like, it's not even a holiday.
I made Max ask me to be his Valentine.
I saw that though.
I like was like, no, I'm literally like, I was like, yeah, I might be your fiance, but you're asking me to be your Valentine. Gotta keep it alive. You gotta keep dating in your relationship, I feel like.
Yes. And I also think that like Valentine's Day for like growing up even, it was always this anxiety. Like, remember in school when they would pass out carnations?
Oh my gosh.
And like you would be so nervous. Like, am I going to get any?
Like,
am I going to have a lot?
Like Gretchen Wieners. And she's like, is there anything for me? And he's like, none for you.
And it's
or for you,
embarrassing,
Glen Coco. Yeah. I've always been such a lover and I love giving things to people. So I enjoy the holiday because it's like I love making little baskets for my girlfriends or like little treats for my girlfriends and like the people around me and my friends and like whatnot. But I think that's like, especially if you're like single on Valentine's Day, I feel like it would be so fun to like just like get your girlfriends, like get your sister, get your family, like whoever it is, and like do something together. Like do like a little charcuterie night or like a Galentine's like movie night with like all the best rom-coms.
The best rom-coms. You could even do I guess it's too late for like vision board stuff, but
no,
just like
it's
little
never
things,
too late.
Game nights,
vision board night. I really want to do this with us. Painting like your own little wine glass. I think that's the cute. I've seen it so many times. I'm like, that is so cute.
I love that. That and you could do like a wine and paint night.
Yeah.
With wine glasses or with like canvases.
Yeah, either one. Not that I'm an okay painter. I'm not the best painter, but I
but
can
it's
do
the
like
experience.
I can do cutesy things. I used to be really good at painting because I was in a sorority and I'd have to like paint these big banners and I'd paint coolers for like the fraternity guy that I was going to like formal with. That really set a disdain for like painting.
And then that made me think of today. I saw your story and I was like, I should have gone over to help.
Well, okay, so this is not me because I knew what I needed to do and I was like, oh, this is going to be easier. I didn't know there were sticker letters. I was like, oh, I'm going to paint them and I was going to use acrylic paint. And Max was like, no, like, why would you use paint? Like, just get spray paint. It's going to be so much easier.
Oh, no.
Horrible idea. I knew I should have gone with my idea at the first place. And like, he wasn't wrong. Like, it would have been easier with spray painting, but like the stencil like didn't cover the entire plate. So there's like residue and spray on other parts of the plate, and I was like, this is not what I wanted. So the lovely fiance of mine went out and found like the sticker like letters that I could put on there instead of like painting it. But I would have easily been able to paint it or like use a Sharpie and marker and write it myself because like I'm really good at that. But no, he made my life a lot easier. But yeah, the painting and so I started spray painting. I was like, I hate this, but I was like, oh, Max is like, oh, I have like oil paint. I was like, let me try it, but oil paint's not going to dry in time. It's too wet. Let me see what I can do. And I tried it, and it was like the oil paint's so old. It like was like sheer,
crusty.
I was like, but no,
this just won't do.
I did the first strand. It looks really, really good.
Well, if you need help, because I was like, I told her I'd help, and like I didn't help.
It's fine.
And it was and I was like, no.
It was more of a
okay.
Not like a
okay.
It was more of like a like, what am I gonna do? No, but I worked it out. It's fine. It's coming together. If you want to come over tomorrow, like earlier before everybody gets over.
I want to help you set up.
Yeah, I need to go buy more balloons.
Okay, we can make that happen.
That's what I need to do after our Pilates class. Yeah. But yeah, I think like doing something with your girlfriends, like even if it's just like a unite, like make yourself a good dinner. And like get a glass of wine or like make yourself a little cute mocktail. Like I love putting like my Olipop or like my drink in a wine glass, no matter what, because I just feel like little.
You just feel spice. A little bougie, yes.
You feel a little bougie, and like do a bubble bath, like do a face mask, like watch your movies, watch your show, like watch Bridgerton. That's what I'd watch. Or like I love the movie Valentine's Day. It has Taylor Swift in it.
Oh yes, love that, and Taylor Lautner.
Yeah, and Taylor Lautner. I love that movie. So I'm like, that is just like, I feel like that's like the perfect night.
I love the old like 90s, like 10 Things I Hate About You.
Oh my gosh.
How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days.
That's my favorite movie.
Love those.
Love those movies. Yeah, absolutely. I'm obsessed.
Yeah, and I think that sometimes people feel like, I think it's natural to feel lonely on Valentine's Day, but it doesn't mean that there's something wrong with you.
Yeah, no.
Like people are like, well, like why, like another year of being single? It's like, okay, treat yourself.
Treat yourself.
Nobody can give you what you want on Valentine's Day better than you.
And you are segueing into the perfect topic and the way we're going into this, which is self-love and giving yourself self-love. And like, how would you describe self-love?
I think number one, like being authentic and true to yourself, because that, like, I think that's the definition of self-love. I don't know. Other than that, it's just like being true to yourself, being confident in yourself, and definitely like speaking kindness to yourself, being kind to yourself.
Yeah. I think it's obviously being in love with every part of who you are, all your good traits, all your bad traits, like taking care of yourself, whether it means like putting yourself first and like making yourself a priority. My country accent came out there. Making yourself a priority and giving yourself the grace that you need in order to like feel better about yourself, and like knowing that all your little characteristics and traits that you have are like meant to be you, and that there's nothing that will ever take that away from you. And like you are one of a kind. You are you, and that's what's important, I feel like.
Yes, and I think for me, a big part of self-love is giving myself validation.
Yeah.
Not getting validation from other people.
Yes.
Because I want it to be unshakable.
Oh, yes. I think a lot of times when it's like, people ask me like, how do you get confidence in yourself? How do you find like self-love? And I think it's so important, especially like when it comes to like having a relationship with anybody, you should always have a relationship with yourself first. And that's so important to work on because it's such a healthy habit to have. But that was something I had to work on, and I'm still working on it today. Like my whole life, I've really had to really figure it out. It's something I juggle, is like not giving people the right to define my value, not allowing them to like choose how I perceive myself. And that's it's not easy to do, but once you get the hang of it, you feel so much better. And you're like, I don't need these people that don't really know me, that don't really care for me, to criticize the way I look, criticize the way I think, criticize the way I speak. I want people around me that love me, but most importantly, I want to love me and love who I am. And just because I'm different, or just because I believe something else besides what somebody else thinks, doesn't mean I'm any less than them.
We're supposed to have differing opinions, and I think we talked about that
We
on a
did.
different. But I also I think for me, for a long time, my confidence came from like I wanted everyone to like me.
Yeah.
And whenever I realized that was just like not a solid way to build a relationship with myself, it was a wake up call. But it's also so empowering when you realize like I'm doing this for me. Like whatever decisions you're making, whatever you're doing, it's like, okay, this is for me, and I think that like is self-love.
Oh yeah.
Saying yes, saying no, like
Saying yes, saying no, like being who you are to your core, and knowing that it's okay to be different. I think that like we all get wrapped up in our head that we have to be this certain way and look this certain way and act this certain way. And I'm like, Max and I like had a conversation on the way here, and I was like, there was a point in my life where like I tried to be like everybody else, and I was like, I was not happy. Like I was not happy trying to like fit into this mold of what I was supposed to be, or like what I thought I had to be in order to be friends with certain people. And I'm like, I don't like that. Like that's just not me. That's not who I am. And like I'm so thankful that like I didn't go down that path, because I probably wouldn't have met Max. I definitely wouldn't have dated Max. Max would have never probably dated me if I was that way. And like he even said that to me, and he's like, we would have never, like it just wouldn't have happened. And I'm like, I thank God every day, because it's like, that wasn't me. I wasn't meant to be that girl.
No.
I'm goofy and funny and weird, and like I am a little dorky at times and silly, and that's okay.
But that's why we love you. Yeah, no, I was the same way. I always kind of absorbed the personalities of people that I was hanging out with. Like, and not, I don't want to sound mean, but like even if I didn't like them.
Yeah.
And it was so embarrassing too, because I had this conversation with my sister when I was in Ohio, because she was the same way. And I was saying how it used to give me anxiety if people from different parts of my life all got together because I was like, which version of myself am I going to be? And to not have to stress about that anymore is like, oh my God, it's such a breath of fresh air.
I 1,000% agree. Like, I keep saying I'm going to stop saying that, guys. But I'm like, not that I get like stressed, but like my friends, like I have so many different lives and so many different like friend groups that it's like, I used to freak out like and be like, oh, like how I am with this group is not how I am with this group. And I was always like, I don't think they're going to get along because they are two different types of people. But now that like I've grown up and I feel like I've matured a lot, I've gotten better at like, no, these people would definitely get along. Like my friend group has definitely like shrunk in size, which I think was good for me because I did have so many people around me that like, not that they didn't have like my best heart. I think that they did. I think they definitely cared for me. But I think that I let their opinions dictate too much of what I did for myself and like what I thought was important. And now that that's kind of like gone away and I've evaporated a little bit, the people that are around me right now and like the people that I have in my circle right now are so special and so important and like have truly like shown up and shown out for me. And I'm like, they genuinely would love, I feel like most of y'all have met. There's like a couple that like I feel like that y'all haven't met recently, but I feel like everybody gets along. Everybody's happy. It's a great time. I'm so excited. And it's a really cool thing to see because now it's like all my worlds are merging and I enjoy it a lot.
It like growing up is crazy.
Growing up is wild.
No, but I'm going to do it too.
100%
agree. No, I think that for me also like being selective and not in a mean way, but because I'm the same way. I don't have a ton of friends, but the friends I do have, like I'm so confident in the people that I have in my life, almost to a point of like being protective of them. Like I don't want anything to change.
Yeah, no, I don't either. And I mean, things are going to happen. Things do change because like life comes with ebbs and flows. But I think especially like the people around you, and this like kind of goes back to like that self-love situation and like evaluating what's around you and like eliminating the toxicity in your life and like knowing the people that are truly there for you, knowing the good habits that you have, knowing the things that are going to benefit you at the end of the day that like are going to help you be the best version of yourself, I think is really important. Like I have cut out so much of the fat and like all the fluff and just like really focus in on what's good for me and the people around me. And like I love that now. Like I'm not gonna lie, like I did used to like be one of the girls that like wanted the cute outfits, wanted to go out to dinners, wanted to like show up and show out, and like was one of those like little girlies that like loved like the cute like aesthetic life. And like as much as I love like that life and like I still am that way a little bit, it's not my importance. Like my importance to me now is like the people around me, my relationship with Max, like how I treat myself. Like nothing feels better to me. Like I don't care about going out to like a fancy dinner on like a Saturday night with like everybody and like going out to the clubs and going out and doing all these things. Like, yeah, that shit's fun. Like I get it. It's a good time.
It's a once in a while thing.
It's a once in a while thing, but like there's nothing else I love than like either getting just like Mexican with y'all or getting dinner with Joe or like Max and I just like deciding to stay home with dude and like watching movies and like making dinner, and like the next morning I feel great and energized and I can clean the entire house. And it's just like those little simple tasks, like even like tasks when Max wants to go to like Home Goods with me. Like I love romanticizing every little part of my life, and I feel like since I started doing that, I love myself and I love my life so much more. I take gratitude in like the little things that I have going on, whether it's just like my morning cup of coffee and like sitting down with Max like by our window and drinking our greens. Like I find romanticizing everything in my life has really made me like joyful for every day.
You look forward to the little things and you're not like constantly chasing the next big thing.
Yeah. And it's like everybody wants to have like a bigger following or a bigger platform or like nicer things, and it's like that's all great, but like at the end of the day, like those things can all go away, and like it's about who I am and the people around me that make me happy.
Right. And as loyal, I was just telling Ryan this, I think it was like last night or the night before, how loyal like Max's like subscribers are. Like I was like, they are so ride or die for him, and it's so cool to see. However, just chasing like, oh, it'd be so cool to have all these followers doesn't necessarily mean you're going to have that.
Yeah.
And it's the people that you know are going to show up for you.
Yeah.
That's the most important thing.
It's like, again, like I think I've said it in past videos, like I'd rather have one loyal person that loves me to the end than like 1,000 million people that like just don't support me and are watching me to like see me fall.
Praying for your,
Yeah, they're praying for my downfall. And like, of course, there's always going to be people that are praying for my downfall, but I choose to not look at that and choose not to like see the negative that they like push out there, because that's just not a healthy lifestyle to live.
No. Also, just one last thing on self-love, because I think this is so important. Self-love isn't always gushy and fun. Sometimes it's calling yourself out on your own BS.
Oh, yeah.
And like being self-aware. So if there's something that you're doing that's toxic or unhealthy for you, it's looking yourself in the mirror. And it's not necessarily always just like, I love this about me. I love this about me. Like, of course, you want that. But also if you're doing something and you're like, this is not me, this is not cool. Like, that is self-love. It's calling yourself out so you can
Setting
be the best
boundaries.
version of yourself.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I love that. And I think like with all this like self-love topic, I think like, how do you find self-love? How do you find your like, I always say like your inner sparkle. Like when I talk to girls about pageants, I'm like, you have to have that inner sparkle. You have to have that inner feeling that you love yourself and like you're confident in yourself. And like, I think there's a huge difference between like self-esteem and like self-worth. And so it's like your self-esteem is kind of like what you accomplish, like what you've done, or like no, self-worth is like what you've accomplished, what you've done. Self-esteem is like how you view yourself. And I think it's handled two different ways.
Absolutely, because there are people, like I know so many people who are absolutely like amazing and beautiful, but their self-esteem is really low.
Yeah.
And I think it's honestly heartbreaking to see how to find it. I think you have to really dig deep.
Yeah.
Like you have to, and it's not like an overnight, like, okay, like found it. It's a constant work in progress of like reevaluating things and, you know, maybe reminding yourself of different things. But I think really tuning into the things about yourself that you genuinely love.
Yeah.
And like doing those things, leaning into the things that you enjoy.
I agree. I think also like finding like your self-worth, like, and like self-love and like learning to love yourself is understanding that everybody has flaws. We all have things that like we look at that we nitpick on and we wish we're different and wish we're better, and we start comparing ourselves. The first thing to do and the first thing that I stopped doing was comparing. I stopped looking at other people and being like, I wish I had this life. I wish I had her body, or I wish I talked like her, or I wish I dressed like her. I wish I was as skinny as her, and I wish I was as tall as her. Like, it's hard because like you're always going to compare yourself, of course. Like there's going to be times where it happens, but trying to cut it out as much as possible and realizing like, okay, I'm never going to be her. I'm never going to be that way. Like I remember one of my good friends, Landry, I love her. And like, she's younger than me, but she like has so much wisdom, and she kind of taught me something that like her mom taught her. And I was like, you know, I really want to look like her. I wish I looked like her. And she's like, Taylor, like, I said to her, this was before she said anything. I was like, I wish I looked like her. And I was like, I work out so hard. I work out all the time, but like, I never look like that. And she's like, Taylor, you're not meant to look like that. Like, she doesn't even look like that. Like, those photos that you're looking at have nothing to do with like who she really is. Like, that's just a perfectly curated photo of this girl. Like, her body is different than your body. Like, you have an athletic build. She does not. Like, you should love the way that you look. Like, you've worked so hard to get to where you are, and like you've put so much like progress into who you are. Like, enjoy yourself. Like,
and be proud.
And like, I think a lot of times too is like, life is so short. Like, I don't want to live my life hating myself.
And most people, like you hear people talk about like, oh, they said this when they got older, like when on their deathbed. And it's always those things. Like, I wish I would have just embraced like who I was or the life that I had.
Yeah. And it's like, the thing is like, I just stopped staring at other things and be like, you know, there's obviously, I do vision boards and I love to like kind of like figure out what my plan is for my life. But like, I remember when I first started doing them, I wanted to like put like body goals and like what I wanted like my body to look like. And I remember like it was always like Miranda Kerr and like it Adriana Lima and like all these like models, and like, yes, I am somewhat shaped like them, but I'm not them.
Exactly.
And I had to stop looking at them and be like, I want to look like this. Like, yes, it's great to look at, to be like, I want to push myself to look better, but you gotta like give yourself the grace when it's like it takes time, 1, and 2, like maybe you're just not meant to look like that.
Yeah, there are some some instances where like you're comparing yourself or setting something as your goal, and no matter how hard you work, no matter what you do, it's just not like physically possible for you.
Yeah.
I always use because I think, you know, like, at least personally, like I do have ebbs and flows in like how defined my like stomach is, or like sometimes I'm a little heavier, and so I will use myself as inspiration because I know it's attainable. So I'll look back when I was like in really good shape and be like, okay, like this is the goal and I know I can do it because that's me and I've done it before.
Yeah.
There was something else I was gonna say. I forget. Sorry, guys.
No, it's okay. I think like I love that. I'm like, especially now, I feel stronger and better than I do now than I did when I was at my skinniest. Like my skinniest, I think I was like 113 and I'm 5'9". Like that's just absolutely ridiculous of a weight for me to be at. And it was not healthy, like how I got there. And like, I was so stressed and anxious. That's how I lost so much weight, is because when I get stressed, I lose weight rapidly. Like my metabolism spikes and I just like drop like 10 pounds and it's insane. And like,
that literally happened to me. That's funny that you say that.
like when I competed for like Miss USA, they were like, you need to put on more weight because if you go to Miss USA and you get stressed, like and you're going to drop weight, nothing's going to fit you. And I was like, good to know. So that has nothing to do with any of this, guys. I don't know why I said that. But I feel like losing it, I feel like comparison, like that's just something that I feel like comparison is like truly, it's the thief of joy. And so like when trying to find self-love, that's like the thing that I started doing the first was like cutting that out. I was like, I am not going to compare myself to like what other girls have, what other girls do, how people's lives are, how successful people are, how smart they are, because I'm not them.
Yeah, and I think that like something that I do too is like what is this doing for me?
Yeah.
Whether it's comparison or like you're beating yourself up about like a part of your body, it's like okay, is this constructive? Is this doing anything for me? Like the answer is no. Okay, we're moving on. Like we have to get past this.
We have to get past it. And again, and like when trying to find that self-love, like how I said I cut out the fat and I cut out the excess, like I looked around me and took a good look of like what everything I was doing, what my habits were, and was like, what is serving me at this moment and what's draining me. And that's so big because again, like you cannot pour from an empty cup. And like obviously, like if there are people that are draining you or experiences that are draining you, or like you feel like you have to live this like lifestyle in order to be like valued, that's not okay. Like your value is who you are, not what you do, if that makes sense.
100%.
Because that can go away constantly. And I had this conversation with actually like my modeling agency recently where something happened and I just was like, you know, integrity to me is the most important thing. I was like, the way I look, how, like what I do, like my job, whatever it is can go away. I was like, and I can only be left with my integrity and my characteristic. And I was like, and that's what's important to me. And I was like, I don't care. I was like, my looks could fade and I don't care if they do. I was like, but what matters is that I'm a good person.
It's the most important thing. Excuse me.
No, you're fine. I'm like,
but and in finding self-love, I think a lot of people make the mistake. Like you are the only person that can give that to yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and maybe finding self-love for you looks a little bit different than it like does for us. But that's such a good point too. Is like, it's the things that can never be taken away from you. If everything got stripped, like you at your core,
who are you?
Yes.
And I think maybe write this down, like write your characteristics, write the things that you love about yourself, like go deep with like who you are. And like, you're going to start realizing, like I did this kind of, I don't know how to explain it. I did this, it wasn't like a test, but it was like something I did before I competed for Miss USA, because I had to write my own bio and do all this paperwork. I had what I wrote about myself and then like my characteristics, my best characteristics, things I could still work on and different things like this. And then I had the 3 people that are the most important to me. So one was my mom, one was a partner at the time, and then one was my sister. And I had them write like the characteristics and things like words that would describe me and things that they loved the most about me. And like to see those like, and like see like what my similarities were, like what I thought about myself or like what they thought of me. Like it's so good to see and so fulfilling. And I know I said like don't find value in other people, but like maybe it's like ask the people that are closest to you to like be like, can you like describe me in 3 words, or like what are like my top 5 characteristics that like make me me.
I love that. And I agree. Like, don't let it make you like,
don't let it make it your value.
Yeah. But at the same time, and maybe even like preface it, because I'm sure that there are people that are listening and they're like, okay, well, I don't like, maybe you don't like who you are. And that's okay. That's absolutely okay. You have to start somewhere. But even like reaching out to those closest people to you and being like good and bad, like good or bad, obviously don't be mean, but like maybe it'll help you to grow self-awareness and be like, okay, that's something I need to work on that I wasn't aware of. I love that.
Yeah. Like I was like, you're a good listener. But my mom's like, sometimes you, she's like, you are a procrastinator on things that you should be doing. Even though you're listening to me and telling me that you're like, I'm telling you all the things you need to do. She's like, you sometimes procrastinate, which I know I am a procrastinator sometimes.
I thrive under pressure.
I love a good diamonds under
exactly
pressure. You know,
I do my best work.
I do my best work under pressure. I thrive.
You're like, what you think is procrastinating is actually strategic.
It's strategic. It's how I get my best version of myself. I have a lot of anxiety.
I'm the most anxious.
I have a lot of anxiety, but no, I think it's like, it just takes time. And I think like finding the little things about yourself like are the best ways to like find love for who you are.
And they're usually the things we take for granted.
1,000%. 1,000%. I think also like growing my faith was actually one of the things that really helped me kind of find my worth and value, because I stopped looking for it in other things and other people, and I found it in God and myself. And that really is one of the things that kind of I felt like really helped me take a grasp of like who I am.
I agree with that, because I've had like backs and forth with my relationship with God. But I will say that my relationship with God now is stronger than it's ever been. And I'm also like the most in love with myself. Like, I don't know, like the most confident in who I am, I guess, is what because I'm just like, okay, well, God made me this way.
Yeah.
Like, I'm supposed to.
And I don't think I want to be honest, like it took a lot for me to have the self-confidence and self-esteem that I have now. And it still teeters from time to time, because I'm a human, obviously. But truthfully, like when I was younger and like even in college, like I had very low self-esteem. Like I just like was made fun of a lot for the way that I look, and like I didn't think I had value, and I cared way too much about what people thought about me, like way too much. And I always say it, and like I'll never forget, it's like pageant things, and people are like, who do you admire the most, and like what would you do? And I was like, I admire my older sister. Like my sister Rachel does not care what people think about her at all. She does whatever she wants, and I love it. Like she thrives off of it. She's like, I don't care what you think about me. I'm going to do what I want to do at the end of the day. And like her and I are total opposites, let me tell you, but like I just admire that in her. And I'm like, I wish I could be that way. Like she doesn't care. She'll get on the table right now and dance in front of everybody. She'll act a fool in front of anybody. And I'm just like, absolutely not. I can't do that. Like that's just not me.
What would people think? Yeah.
Like, ugh. And like, I'm like, that's cringe. But she just doesn't care. And she just lives her life the way she wants to live it. And I'm like, I love that.
I love that for her so much.
Oh, I do too.
Where did she get that?
She's just always had it. She's always been that way. Like no matter what, it's her world. We're all living in it. That's just like something, which is so funny, because like she loves, like, not that she loves attention, but she loves like entertaining people, and like she is the party of the family. Like she's the fun one. Like she's a great time, where I'm just like she's not scared to do things, where I'm like shyer, a little bit more timid. I don't like attention as much. Like I don't want to be around that. And she's just like, you want me to go dance in front of people and like do something? Okay, great. And I'm like, I always like tell people, I'm like, when I did pageants and they asked that question, like, who do you admire? Like, what do you wish you could do? And I was like, honestly, it's my sister. Like, I wish I had that in me. And like, she's helped me a lot to gain self-confidence. But no, that's like, if she's listening to this, yeah, like you blow me away.
I've met her once and I'm blown away.
But but you see it.
Yeah, she was so welcoming.
Yeah, but she's just lives her life. She's just happy. She just does what she wants to do, and she's just like, whatever.
What is it? She does what she wants, and the TikTok.
She looks good doing it.
Yep, that's right.
Yeah, that's my sister. That's what she does. So she does best. I love her.
I hope she comes tomorrow.
I hope so too. I bet she will. She'll be at the Pilates thing, but I bet she'll come to the Super Bowl. Okay. Do you think true love exists?
Yes.
How come?
Because I'm in it.
Explain.
Ryan and I's like relationship is so, I don't even know how to explain it, but it was just always him. Like from the moment I met him, and I'll be honest, is like, this is going to sound bad. Like when Ryan and I first started hanging out, like I really thought it was just going to be a fling. Like, I did not think it was going to be what it is now. And very, very soon, and even for him, because not to like, maybe if you hear this, I'm sorry. He was a player. Like he massive commitment issues. Like he's had like one serious girlfriend. It was like a high school.
That's like Max.
Yeah. And like, it was just one of those things that was so like out of left field. And we both like had this feeling of, I want to see them again. I want to see them again. Mm-hmm. And like, it's just always been him. I can't, like, it makes me sick to think about being with someone else. Like I joke, I'm like, if we broke up, like that's it. I'm done. Like, it's just me.
I'm done.
Like it's always been him. And even my family, when I was in Ohio, they're like, you always said that. Like it was always going to be him. And to me, that's true love.
Yeah.
And like, we choose each other, and we've had like weird, bad situations happen, but we always come back to each other, and we're always striving to be better for each other. Mm-hmm. And like, I don't know. I just think that's amazing.
I love that.
And I think it's rare.
I think
you and Max have it for sure.
Thank you. I think it is rare. I definitely think true love exists, but I think there's also different types of love. Like there's always that thing that's like you go through 3 types of love in your life. And I definitely I've had past relationships. Like it would be stupid if I said that I didn't love them, because I did, obviously. But those were relationships I think I needed in order to learn who I was and what I wanted. And I thank God for those relationships, even though they failed. Like I do thank God for those, because I did learn a lot. Mm-hmm. Like I now know like what I want, how I want to be treated, how to treat others. And like, I think, when I met Max, like when I started dating him, at least, it immediately felt like the purest form of love. And
you're so like at peace and calm.
Yeah, it's so pure. Like I never got anxious. I never got like, they always say like butterflies are a bad sign. And I always agree. Like I think butterflies are a very bad sign. Like, and in past relationships, I always had butterflies. And like, even though I was dating them for years, like I was always nervous, always anxious. Like I felt like I was walking on eggshells around them. And like, that wasn't love. And like, I even remember one of my friends being like, Taylor, like, what do you love about them? And I was like, I don't know. And I'm like,
that it's like toxic and crazy all the time.
Yeah. Like I was
there's something to that.
Yeah. I was like, I don't know. Like, I just love them. Like, I just love them. And like with Max, I can name a million things of why I love them. Like why I love him. Like why I'm in love with him. Like I can name that he's just a good person. He loves me. He's selfless. He's understanding. He's smart. He's kind. He's funny. He's extremely funny. He's goofy. He accepts every part of me for the good, the bad, the ugly. And like, I've never had that feeling. Like he fully supports in everything I do. And like, he's so understanding. And it was like how you said, like, we just wanted to be around each other. Like Max and I don't not that we don't want to do things with other people, but like, we just want to do everything together.
Yeah.
Like we want to, we joke about it. And like, we're talking about like bachelor and bachelorette parties. And I was like, honestly, like, not that like we don't want to have a fun bachelor and bachelorette party, but like, we don't want to go to a club. We don't want to go do all these things. Like, we don't want to do that unless we're together.
Yes.
Like we want to it's like, I won't have fun at a club without Max. And Max won't have fun at a club without me, because we're each other's sidekick. Like we are rambunctious together. We do everything together. Like we make things more fun.
I 100% agree with that. 1,000%.
1,000%. But I think there's definitely different forms of love. And like, there's like puppy love, and then the love that teaches you a lesson, and the love that's going to hurt you. And
I also think that true love doesn't necessarily have to be a partner.
No, I think it could be with friends.
Yeah, absolutely. Because it makes me sad, because I don't want anybody to listen to this and be like, I want that so bad. Like I want what Max and Taylor have. And here's the thing, you'll find it.
But
But
it takes time.
Yeah, but true love can be like what
With
is it
your
like? So your
family.
soulmate can be like your friends, and maybe you have multiple soulmates. But I do believe that, because
No.
there are people that you just click with, and to me that's like in an essence like true love.
Oh, 1,000%. Like the way I feel about Max is the way I feel about like my girlfriends, like the people around me, and like I will go at bat for them. I care for them. Like I will support you guys, and like anyone that's my friend knows that like I will never hurt you. I will never do anything bad to you. Like I want the best for you, and I love you fully, and I love deeply with my whole heart, and you know like a lot of my friends like Jenna and Landry, like they live in Dallas, but those are two of like my best friends, and like they truly have seen so much of my life, and like we go through so much together, and like they are like my soul sisters, like especially Jenna. Like Jenna and I like understand each other on like a different like level, and Landry and I, like Landry is younger than me, she's 21, but she is like my little sister that I never had. Like we go through so much life together, and like we can go days and weeks without talking, and then like when we get back together it's like nothing's ever changed, and like we just support each other so much. And then I also have like my friend Charlie, like who I texted like the other day because it was her birthday, and she lives in South Carolina. And she's like, Taylor, she's like, I want you to know, like, even though like we aren't around each other as much as we used to be, and like we don't talk as much as we used to be, she's like, you will always be one of my best friends. And I was like, no, literally same, because you are my whole world. And even Mona's in Hawaii.
Come back.
Come back to me, please. But no, like even her, like she might be so far away from me, but like we still have this love. And like Mona's truly like, when Mona came into my life, like we were both going through such a similar, like we were both going through breakups at the same time, like both going through really negative relationships, and like we had each other to lean on, and like she and I like really opened up to each other about a lot of things, and like she's just a good person to have around.
I have only been around Mona a couple of times, but I get such good energy from her.
She's a good human.
Like she's a good human being.
She's somebody that's like, loyalty is who she is.
Which is like, that's my shit. Like,
no, I know.
I love that because I'm the same way. But I always pay attention to like how people make me feel. Yes. Especially now, because I've been in situations where I dismissed it. And so something that was really nerve-wracking for me was like meeting, I think I said this last time, like meeting Heidi, meeting Mona, and I was just like, oh, like I hope they like me. And just such welcoming, kind, warm people.
Oh, they're the best people.
Yeah. And I remember thinking that like the 4th of July, when we were all like out by the pool, there was a point where like Mona and I were sitting there, and I was like, oh gosh, like don't make an ass of yourself. And she was just so nice. I don't know.
She's so nice. She's just a good human. Like she is. And like my favorite is she will call you out on your bullshit.
Love that.
And I love it because I'm the same way. But she will be like, Taylor, nope, you done fucked up. And I'm like,
I love you, but you're in the wrong.
She's like, yeah, no. She's like, no. And I love that because she keeps it real with me. And I want that with my friends.
That's friendship. Yeah.
Yeah, I want that. But no, I truly, I think I have really grasped like a good group of people around me. And it's like, if you're listening to this, like, I want you to I want you to know, like, if you feel like you don't have the people around you that you need, like, you will. It takes time. Like, I remember there's so many months where I felt like I was just alone, and like I was like, I don't have any friends. Like I don't have like the people around me. Like, you'll find those people. You'll find the people that love you and support you, and like that are like a part of your pack and like your pride.
Yeah, and I think because I'm the same way. I went through, before like getting close with you, like complete isolation, no friends, not one. And it was really, really difficult, but then like it all makes sense after the fact. But I've also been in situations where I did have a group of girlfriends, and I would just cry to Ryan and be like, I don't know why, but this isn't
Something's
it.
off.
Yeah, this isn't it. And so I think and just being patient with yourself in that regard.
Okay. So on that note, like, how do you be a good friend? Like, how do you be a good partner? Let's start with partner.
I think you show up for the person. To me, and like friendship or relationship, it's like you said with Mona, like being honest, like supporting someone wholeheartedly, but also if you see that they're not being themselves or they're not being their best selves, it's being able to call them out. Loyalty. I think loyalty is like number one. That's being a good friend. That's being a good partner. I don't just for me, it's showing up. It's making sure I'm not like in friendships, the kind of person that like we need, even in my relationship now, it's like, I'm not like a person that needs constant communication and contact.
Yeah.
So it's making like the moments that you are around them or you are talking to them like really matter, making sure they know that you care and you love them. And maybe sometimes you show it instead of telling them.
Yeah.
Because love languages. I don't
Love
know if
language.
you guys...
Yeah. But I think I agree. Like, I feel like the way I show love is like how I listen and how I communicate with people. And I always am open and honest with people, and I want to share my best with them. And I want to be able to talk to them and like hear them out and help them in situations. And I think communication is and we talked to we went to dinner with Steve and Wendy and Joe, and Max and I obviously went together for Wendy, who's Steve's wife, which Steve is Joe's dad. That was really confusing.
Wow.
I'm so sorry. But we went to dinner last night, and Joe Steve had a heart to heart with like Max and I was like, I want y'all to like really like focus in on your love, and like communication with your partner is so important, and like making sure you keep like your relationship strong, and like when you guys do have kids, like you still have a relationship with each other and you show up for each other and like you keep each other as your priority. And like I agree with that wholeheartedly, obviously. But I think like prioritizing, like obviously like you should make yourself a priority, but like your partner is now your priority as well, and like that's so important, and like really focusing on like how you can be a good person to them and like show up for them when they need it, whether it's like just to listen, or like say they have an event, say they play sports, or say they like do something, like showing up for them and showing out for them and like being there and like listening and understanding things and like talking them through things. Like Max and I talk, like we had a whole conversation about Ever Forward and like me taking it over. And I was really adamant. I was like, you know what? I think that I want to. Like, I feel like I'd be really good at this. And it's not to say that I won't later down the road. But Max and I agreed, like, not that my role is to be a listener, but like my role is that I am there to like consult him on a lot of things. I talk to him about everything. And he's like, I don't ever want anything else to get in the way of like, because I do listen to everything he has going on in his life and business, and like I truly talk him through. I'm basically like a therapist.
Same.
I talk him through like a lot of things that go on in the work life and business and like just our world, and that's like my priority. Like as a wife, like that's what I want to do for Max, is like I want to help him in that way. And I was like, I never want like anything else to get in the way of that. Obviously, when we have kids, like kids will obviously become one of our main priorities, but we will do that together. But it's just really showing up for your partner.
Yeah, I agree. And something you said there is like, because Ryan and Max are in business, like I think I've told Ryan this before, but it's like you have so much going on and you have so much stress and anxiety in all the other areas of your life. Like I want to be the peace. Like I want to be the only thing you're not having to worry about.
Yeah. And it's like, I feel like I've been that way in like every relationship. I never want to be the thing that causes drama. I never want to be the thing that like puts worry. Like I always want to make your life easier. I want
sometimes to a fault.
Yeah. I'm like, I always just want to make sure that like whatever I'm doing is I'm helping your life. I'm being an asset rather than a liability.
Yes. Do you do love languages?
Yes and no, but like we know what each other's love language is, and like my love language is words of affirmation. I wonder why. I love words of affirmation, and Max's is quality time.
Okay.
But he shows love with acts of service, and then I show love with words of affirmation, acts of service, and gifts. I'm
all of them. Yeah. You can be all of them.
I'm a big lover. Like I want to show love in every form, and so I do.
Well, the reason I bring that up is because I thought about it. Someone said that we swallowed too loud.
I saw that.
I was like, oh.
I'm sorry. I'm a human.
Yeah.
I'm just chomping away on my gum over here. I don't care.
I can't hear it, so they probably won't.
It'll be fine.
And again, I didn't think we swallowed loud. No, I think that sometimes in relationships and even friendships, knowing what someone's love language is helps the relationship, because how someone receives love and shows love like might be different.
Yeah.
So like Ryan and I are the same way. It's not like we're like, oh, my love language, but we have done the quiz before. And honestly, just in being together so long, we can kind of see what our love languages are. But I think sometimes relationships come up to issues because people are like, well, do you not love me? And so for Valentine's Day, I was thinking that could be something you do with your partner, your friends.
I love that.
Yeah. Because maybe like for me, I think for Ryan at least, he loves acts of service. And like, I don't necessarily, like, that's not my number one. I think mine is quality time and words of affirmation. But if I didn't understand that, like, he might not feel loved.
Yeah.
So I don't know. That's just.
I think that's great too. And I think it does teach you a lot about your partner and like how they love and how they receive love, because everybody receives it differently. And like, again, like I remember in past relationships where I'm like, you know, not that anything's wrong. And even in my relationship now, like, not that anything's wrong, but like, I just want like confirmation, like, and like to reaffirm that like you love me. And like, so I ask those questions like, is there anything we can fix in our relationship? How's it going? What do you need? Like, what do you need more of? Like, what do you need less of? What can I do to like make our relationship stronger? And that's just, again, like trying to like words are so important to me. And obviously like I got a degree in communication. So words are everything to me. And so I hold them at face value. And obviously like you need actions to support your words. But I think it's very important to learn this about your partner, because you could be showing love in another way and them not understand that you're showing love in that way, and that you need to maybe learn what they like. So like Max loves quality time. So that means for me, I need to get off my phone. I need to stop texting. I need to stop scrolling TikTok. I need to sit down with him and like spend time with him. He doesn't think like quality time to him is not like me being on my phone and him being next to me. Like quality time with him is like us sitting down together, watching a movie, playing a game, like
being engaged
with each other. And that's so important. And like, that's how he receives love.
Ryan's the same way. Literally last night, he was like, we were watching a movie and I was like, we need to finish that. And he was like, you picked up your phone. I was like, I'm sorry, I was just checking my messages.
But sometimes I just told Max, like, I get very anxious, and it's a habit for me. The first thing I do, which is probably not a great habit to have, when I get anxious, I check my phone. Like when something in a scary movie's happening and I'm like getting really anxious, I like watch I'm still paying attention to what's going on the screen, but I'm scrolling because I'm having anxiety.
Yep. I just was reading about how if you get like bursts of energy in the evening or at night, and if you are like scrolling your phone and you have like multiple stimulation things going on, like the TV's on your phone, it might be a sign of high cortisol. So
I do have high cortisol.
Yeah, same.
How do I lower that?
Probably breaking from caffeine. Yeah.
Not gonna happen.
Stress management, which is so freaking hard.
It's hard because I take on everybody else's pain and stress around me, I feel like.
Same. And I also, what was I going to say? Oh, there are supplements. Not my first recommendation, but there are supplements you can take that will help with your cortisol levels.
I know. I was talking to May, Max's sister-in-law, my future sister, about high cortisol, because I was like, I'm pretty sure I have high cortisol and it's gotten worse. And she's like telling me all these things that I can do. So I definitely need to do something. I need to be better and do better for myself, I feel like.
I'm just an anxious girly.
But no, I love that. Okay, so you have dating and Valentine's Day horror stories. What do you got for me, sis?
I don't know. Do you not have any? I just thought it'd be fun.
Dating horror stories? I mean, just that one guy that told me that I like him prettier when I don't speak.
Yeah, I want to punch him.
Which, I mean, I guess I agree, but...
No.
Valentine's Day horror stories.
I guess I've been broken up with on Valentine's Day.
That's horrible.
It was high school, so it's like whatever.
But that's so bad.
But I always think about it because it was actually such a mind.
No wonder you have anxiety on this holiday.
I think I was a sophomore. It was when I lived here. It was before my mom died. And it was Valentine's Day, and I played softball. So I had a softball game that day, and I had driven my boyfriend's truck to school. It was like, he was like, yeah, you can take my truck, whatever. And I took his truck, and he texted me like in the morning at school and like broke up with me. And I was like, wait, what? Like, what do you mean? So like I go to my softball game, and we rode the bus. So the truck was still parked at Elkins, like in the student lot. Oof. And when I got back, he hit like, I go to get in the truck because I'm like, I have to take his truck back. And there's like a teddy bear, chocolates. There's like a Starbucks Frappuccino. And I was so confused and angry because I was like, what's going on? So then because I was mad, he was like, oh, I was trying to do something nice. And I was like, that's not funny. It's not cute that you broke up with me so that you could do something nice for me. And we ended up breaking up naturally. Yeah.
I'm appalled.
So that's my, I don't know. Yeah. I was thinking, I was like, I wonder if anybody else has these, like, drop a comment.
Yeah. Let us know your dating horror stories. I like truly like, I don't really have any. I'm trying to think like,
I love that for you though.
No, I feel like I always go over the top for like, not with Max. Max blows my gifts out of the water. I just do very thoughtful things. And I remember, I think I was in a relationship, it was a few years ago. And I did something very thoughtful, and I'm pretty positive that my boyfriend at the time like completely forgot about Valentine's Day. Rightfully so. He was very busy. He's very busy in February, so it's like not his main priority. And I'm pretty sure he like, he sent me something like last minute, and it was like, it came like 2 days late, and I was just like, I think he was like, oh, like it was supposed to come, and like something happened. I was like, no, you just forgot. You forgot, but it's fine. And I did like the nicest thing. Like I like wrote like because I
not the eye twitch.
I like wrote 120 or 161 like nice letters for like each game.
Oh,
and like wrote that like letters
and you get like an Amazon late delivery. You just feel stupid.
Oh, I felt so stupid. And I did like all these like really nice things and like went above and beyond and had like things delivered the day of. So it's like always these things happening. Yeah, it was like, yeah, I really should have, red flag. I should have known. I should have known better.
It's okay.
But it kept,
you know what?
It kept happening. I was like, you know what? You're busy. It's fine.
We justify that. Well, last year Ryan was like, let's not do gifts for Valentine's Day. And I was like, okay. Like, he was like, I'm serious. So I went and like got him his favorite wine. It's actually Kessler. It's not called Kessler. So we've always thought of you. It's Kessler Riesling.
What? I need to try this.
It's
Where'd you buy it?
There's a restaurant, Brandanny's. You can get it at Total Wine, I think. But we went to this place called Brandanny's. It's on like 1092.
Yeah.
And we got that, and he loved it. It's like his favorite wine. So I went and bought like 3 bottles.
No wonder Ryan likes me.
Yeah. So I went and bought like 3 bottles of that, and then I made like a charcuterie board, and we had like a little like picnic date night, like
That's
wine.
Cute.
But that was like, I was like, since we're not doing gifts, I'll do that. And he ended up getting me this like massive rose bouquet, like million rose thing.
Oh, that hurts.
And I was so embarrassed. I was like, what, you told me? And he was like, no, I didn't. He was like, it was a last minute thing. I just got an ad for it. But I felt like such an ass. So
yeah.
I was like, man.
See, Max and I said for Christmas next year, because we have so much coming up, like our wedding, and then we're going on our honeymoon, and then we're getting a puppy. Like we agreed that like we're not, and then we're building the house. We're like, we're not doing Christmas gifts next year. But I'm still gonna do it, I think, because we said that like we were gonna do like the dog was our gift to each other. Like that's what we're doing. Like Dolly's gonna be the gift for each other. But I just like, I don't trust him. I don't trust him. I know that guy. He's gonna pull something out. So I have to like come up with something. But like when he says like, let's just not do gifts, I'm like, no, because I know you're still gonna do something.
Yeah, I'll never ever not do a gift again.
Okay, so let's talk about gifts maybe. Like I feel like okay. Max is the hardest guy to shop for.
Oh my, Ryan is impossible to shop for.
But Ryan's cool. Ryan wears like jewelry and stuff and like likes bracelets and necklaces. Max does not.
Well, okay, so the thing is, I have gotten Ryan so much jewelry over the years that it's not fun. And I love getting someone a gift, and like, it's just like my favorite thing to see someone be like, oh my gosh. And his birthday last year, when I did the like Charlie and the monkey, and I went to Build-A-Bear and did the growl, like his reaction to that, I'll never be able to top it, and it's so upsetting because I'm like, I'm never gonna be able. I also like this year, it came late, but one of his Christmas gifts was I got like a custom crew neck with the dogs like outlines.
I saw that was so cool.
It's so cute, and he loved it. But it's I just feel like I peaked. Like it was such a thoughtful, creative gift.
I'm like trying to pull things out of my butt every time because I'm like, I just don't know. He's so hard. He has everything, and it's like I've done already these like all these thoughtful things, so it's so hard to like get things done. And like I wish I could do jewelry or like certain things, but Max just doesn't care for that stuff. Like the one jewelry piece he wants is like a $7,000, $6,000 bracelet, and like it will happen.
You're like, fine.
It will happen, but it's like that's like a big gift that like I want to give like on our wedding day.
Yeah, that's not just like not
like a Valentine's Day gift I'm giving him. Like that's like a gift I want to give to him like on a day that's very important. And so it's like, he's the hardest person. Like, so I just started coming up with like very like intimate, like sweet gifts.
Mm-hmm. Like I love what, how he took you to Chicago. Like, I think that's a creative gift.
Oh yeah.
I know that wasn't like a gift, but still.
No, it was a gift. Cause he gave it to me on Christmas. He fully played me. I like told him, I was like, oh, like I have a billboard in Chicago. I want to go see it before it goes down. Like, I might just take a trip, and because he acts like he didn't like care to go see it, and I was like, you know what, like I'll go take a trip by myself, like don't worry about it. And then like surprised me, like he apparently, as soon as I told him, like texted my mom, because my mom does like all of our travel. She's a travel agent for like Broadway stuff, but she does all of our travel. And he like immediately messaged her and was like, I want to take Taylor, like what's Taylor's schedule, because she knows my schedule. I want to take Taylor to Chicago and go see her billboard. Make sure you block this date, make sure she has nothing going on. So like as soon as I told him I had the billboard, he scheduled that trip to do it.
I was gonna say that's not like Max, because he's so supportive of you.
Oh, I know. So, but like I really thought that he didn't care, and I like was like, I'll go by myself. Don't worry.
You're like, what's
it.
your problem?
No, it wasn't even that. I was just like, I know he's so busy and like we have so much going on, but I was like, oh, like don't worry, like I'll go. Like I'll go up for a day and come back the same day.
No, that was
no,
a
it
good
was
one.
when I fully did not expect it. I was surprised.
I wish we could have gone.
I know.
Made a little fam trip.
It would have been fam.
You'll get onto a bigger billboard and
It'll be fine.
like New York Times Square, and we'll make a trip out of it.
Square. Yes, absolutely. But no, very hard to shop for. But I find like sentimental things are really sweet.
That's my favorite anyways.
So my favorite gift that Max loves, I bought this picture frame. And it like is a revolving thing of like, because he makes fun of me for my Google Home, because I talk to her all the time. But it has a bunch of, I have it connected to my phone, so it has all these photos just kind of like rotate through, and he loves it. So I bought him a picture frame that like rotates through pictures on his office desk. And so every day he comes in, it's like a new photo. And that's like, he said that is his favorite gift.
Do you get to change it?
We can both add photos into like we both have the app, so we can both go in and like add photos.
I hope Ryan's not listening. That's a good idea. Ryan's impossible.
He won't listen to this by the time it's Valentine's Day, so you're
true.
good.
I just think that he, like when he wants something, he gets it.
That's how Max is.
And he also is incredibly particular about his clothes. So I don't even, like I will not bother.
I just started getting him clothes because I'm like getting him into like more like style.
Yeah, Ryan is who he is. Mm-hmm. And I love him for it.
I know.
Just like he's in the same stuff.
And like I got Max like off-white Prestos because he's wanted them for so long, and like that was like my surprise gift to him. That was like my big gift to him.
I want off-white J's.
Yeah, he has them. He wears them all the time. And he has his off-white Converse that he used to deadlift in. He's wild. And his off-white hoodie.
I was telling Ryan that because the pair that I want is so expensive. And I was like, I really want them, but I'm not going to want to wear them. Yeah. Same with like Ryan was like, why don't like we should get you red bottoms? And I was like, I won't want to wear them.
And they're the most uncomfortable shoe.
Yeah. See,
let me tell you.
One of my birthdays, we went to the Galleria and he was like, do you want red bottoms? And I was like, not really.
No, I'd rather have a bag.
Yeah. I was like, no, thank you.
No, thank you. But yeah, gifts are, I think, going the more sentimental route, especially with Max. He loves it.
I personally love sentimental, like giving.
It's because it's like I can buy you whatever you want, and like I can get you whatever you want, but like when it has meaning, I think it just matters more.
Yeah, and there's something about the feeling that you get when you open it.
1,000%. Do we have any advice?
I know let's check.
I know we posted it very late.
Yeah, I know. I need to be better about that.
That was me. That was mom. That was on me.
Okay.
I almost forgot.
We do. Do you care if I read them?
Yeah, go for
it.
I don't care.
Help. My boyfriend thinks I'm attention seeking for wearing leggings to the gym. I have a big butt, but I try my best to wear big sweatshirts, t-shirts. I explain that I do it for myself, but he doesn't like it. What do you guys think? I think you should be able to wear what you want. Within reason.
Within reason. I mean, but like, again, like Max would never tell me not to wear something. And I've had a partner who was like, you cannot wear that. Do not wear that out. Like, you, absolutely not. It's embarrassing. And it was literally like a Buff Bunny romper. Embarrassing, I know. I don't understand it when it's just literally a legging, and that's not a reflection of you. I think it's a reflection of his insecurity. And it's like, you're not seeking attention in that way just because you're wearing active wear.
But also, like, say that someone does find you attractive. That should be like a compliment to him.
Yeah.
I had the same thing. I had a boyfriend that like I couldn't wear sports bras to the gym.
And I think you need to have that conversation with him and be like, you know, I'm not doing this for attention. Like, this is just what I wear. That makes me feel good when I'm working out. And like, this is literally what you wear when you work out. Like, people do wear leggings and everything when you go to the gym. So it's very strange that like, I wouldn't say that to him, that it's strange, but it'd be like, I understand that it makes you uncomfortable and I don't ever want to make you uncomfortable, but know that like, I'm not doing it for attention. And like, if it bothers you, I'm sorry, but like, I'm going to wear what makes me feel good.
Yeah. Maybe just come at it in a way of like, help me understand
why.
Why. Yeah. Like, do you not trust me? Let's see here. Okay. Not advice, question, but yay. Can't wait for the next podcast. Thank you.
Woo!
Okay. This is really long. Oh God. I'm nervous to read
Go
it.
for it. Just do it.
This happened this morning. My boyfriend and I don't live together. We both live at home with our parents. We don't make enough to afford rent on our own and feel it's too soon to live together. We've been dating for almost a year. We used to have sex all the time at my mom's house. We would sometimes have to wait to actually have sex in the middle of the night so his mom wouldn't hear us. I would normally stay over for 2 nights. The past few weeks, we would only have sex once out of the 2 nights there beforehand. It was every chance we got. Well, he denied me from sex this morning. I woke him up and he said, I don't think we're going to go round 2. I'm sorry. I said, okay. He tried cuddling with me and I got upset and started to pack up my things and leave. He got upset that I was leaving and asked if I was really leaving because he denied sex. I asked him what was going on because he hasn't been wanting to touch me. He said nothing was going on. He was just tired. I asked him if he was masturbating while I was here and he said yes. I was super upset and hurt and I asked why. He said he can't have sex with me because his mom is home and it's the middle of the day and he's scared of getting caught. He also said that his head is all over the place because of work. I can agree that mentally he has been going through some things. I just feel like he's completely not into me anymore if he isn't wanting to have sex with me. My question is, should I be worried he's having sex with someone else? Whoa. I have
The toxic in me.
I think your natural reaction would be
that thought. Like, the toxic in me is like, okay, then are you sleeping with somebody else? But you can't come at it that way. I feel like you need to have a conversation and communicate and be honest. Be like, honestly, like, it did hurt my feelings. Like, when you did that, like, I feel like you have been distant with me. Like, you haven't been as interested. And like, I just want to understand why. And I want to know why, and like, help me like understand it and like work through it and like communicate with him. I think that's very important. Be like, I want to know if there's something that happened or something I did. Like, please talk to me. Be honest with me. Like, are you wanting to have sex with somebody else? And like, I get it. Like, if I was staying at my parents' house and like I was staying at my boyfriend who also lives at his parents' house, I think I would be very uncomfortable of like
doing
having sex.
Yeah.
And like, I get it. And it's like, I also don't think, I don't think it's not something to like start a fight over, but it's definitely something that should have a conversation.
I think that maybe coming at it from the standpoint of like, I understand that you're stressed. And I also, because this is like in a family set, like they're at home, I kind of understand it.
Yeah.
But maybe just being like, it makes me feel this way. And I will say that when like getting turned down,
oh, it hurts.
it is humiliating.
The ego.
But I wouldn't spiral thinking that maybe something else is going on, but communication.
Talk to your partner.
Advice on how to prioritize yourself while starting your new career, moving in with a partner, and trying to keep up with family, basically balancing all of life. Get a planner, definitely.
Well, get a planner. But I think with that question, like prioritizing yourself, I think go to a workout class. Sorry, my leg went asleep.
No, I'm like, I'm looking over, I'm like, I'm in here.
Go do like a workout class. Like, go do something for yourself. Go to dinner with your girlfriend. Like, take time for you. Like, go get your nails done. Go get a facial, a massage, whatever it may be. Like, do something for yourself. If even shopping day, like, go take yourself shopping and like just do
nothing. Yeah,
do nothing. Like, give yourself that time, and like, there's nothing wrong with that. Like, I feel the best after I give myself that time in those days. Like, I love it because then I have time. I have the energy again to like fill up everybody else's cup.
Yeah, and also don't be afraid to say no. Like if prioritizing you means maybe saying no to plans, that's also okay.
Set your boundaries.
Let's see. Okay, we're skipping that. We're also skipping that. Advice on life when you're going through tough times. In August, my mom was diagnosed with uncurable cancer And in December, my then boyfriend of 7 years broke up with me from nowhere. We were looking to buy a house and were getting serious about having kids, but apparently he had lost feelings around 6 months earlier, but played along with everything, like everything was fine. I did not see it coming at all and am completely crushed. This week was the first time I felt somewhat better, and I won the bidding on an apartment and had something to look forward to. But the evening before I was supposed to sign the contract, the other bidder put in a late offer and the seller opened up the bidding again, even though she had accepted my offer. So I had another thing being ripped from me. I just feel like life is going against me, and unfortunately I don't have a lot of friends to lean on. This breaks my heart.
Yeah, that was hard to listen to. I'm so sorry first and foremost for your mom, and then like having to have a boyfriend who did that to you. I can't even, that's heartbreaking. One of the things I've learned is that when things are taken away from you, they're taken away from you for a reason. And, you know, again, this has a lot to do with my faith and my relationship with God, but God does everything in your life for a reason. And like, you feel like you're going through troubled waters, and like God would never put challenges in your life that you can't overcome or surpass. Like he takes like his strongest warriors through those times, like because he knows you can get through it, and there's so much that's gonna come out of it that's good. And like, you know what, I hope that your mom is okay, and like, you know, something can happen. And like I think right now, like taking care of yourself and taking care of your mom and your relationship with your mom is what's important. And you know, I can't speak on it on that level, but you know, like especially with your apartment and everything, like it, if it is meant for you, it will happen. And just, you know, take things day by day and like slowly, and like if it wasn't meant for you, like then it wasn't meant for you. But like when things are meant for you, it's gonna happen, and like God's grace will show. And like, you know, I used to get really upset when a lot of things happen in my life, and I've had friends pass away, or like I've gone through troubling times, and I always question like, why God? Like, why me? Why are you putting me through this? Like, I'm so strong. Like, I have such a strong relationship with you. Like, why are you doing this to me? And, you know, I used to get so upset about that. And it's like, there were so many things I learned and that like shaped me into who I am. And like, I do thank God, like even for those troubled times that I went through, that like I went through them, because I wouldn't be where I am today without going through those situations. And, you know, I think there's just a lot to learn from that. And, you know, I think maybe you need to like have that conversation with God, or like build that relationship with God, and like understand why he's doing things in your life, and like why he's putting you in certain situations. And again, know that like like when you feel like you're at bottom, like there is nowhere else but up at that point. Like there is so much to look forward to in your life, and like so much that you can gain. And just know that like you are loved, and like you will have good things coming to you. And like this is just the ebbs and flow of life, unfortunately. And you just have to find positive in certain situations.
Yeah. And I think, you know, this is not going to be comforting, but we become who we are meant to be, who we're supposed to be when things like this happen. I always tell my clients, like I've had clients go house hunting and like they're not able to get a place. And I always say, like, when you find like your place, your house, your apartment, like when you find it, it's going to make sense why you didn't get the apartment as far as that's concerned. Now, as far as your boyfriend is concerned, I could say the same thing. Like you're going to meet someone and it's going to make so much sense. And with your mom, I will just say this, like if you ever need someone to talk to, like I absolutely am here. You can send me a message on Instagram. Like I don't understand cancer, but I do understand what it's like to lose a mom, and my heart is so with you. Honestly, I'm speechless.
I'm tearing up at you talking.
No,
I'm like, oh my God.
You were talking, and I was like, don't cry, because I don't talk about my mom a lot, and
you should.
Well, it's just like one of those, like honestly, up until like recently, there are things that I didn't remember. Like my brain just blocked them out entirely.
Yeah.
My sister and I talked about it, and my mom passed away really unexpectedly, so I didn't watch my mom get sick. But what I can say is, like at the time, I was so angry I was so angry at life, and I was so angry with God. And I can tell you, it's in March, it'll be 10 years. And I can look at the situation, and as much as I want my mom to be here and I miss my mom, I also understand why God did that. And that is such a hard thing to come to terms with. It's something that I even kind of get embarrassed talking about because I'm like, it sounds so cold, but it will make sense. And just cherish the time that you have with your mom. Love her, make so many memories with her. And if you need someone to talk to, I'm absolutely here. God, don't cry.
I'm like, my tears are like, they're in
no,
my eyes.
my hands are like shaking. Okay. Whew. Were Ross and Rachel on a break?
Yeah, no.
I never watched Friends. I need to watch it. My mom loved it.
No, they were not. We were on a break.
I know that. And I also know like the pivot, but
Yeah.
I don't like, I've never seen it.
No, they were, I don't care if they were on a break or not. No.
What he did was wrong. Hershey, whoever.
He did. He slept with somebody.
Oh, yeah. Ross is canceled.
Cancel him. Cancel him.
And Rachel was Jennifer Aniston, right?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, no.
She's perfect.
Any advice for making friends in your early 30s? Check out our best friends. No, I'm just kidding.
I mean, we had a whole conversation and topic, I feel like, about making friends. That's a great episode. If you haven't watched it, go check it out. I think, again, like we've kind of hit on it. Like, I love going to classes, like going to events, like meeting new people. Like, you just have to put yourself out there.
Mm-hmm. Go to places that you feel like you would meet like-minded people. Mm-hmm. And Bumble BFF. I don't know why I always say that because I've never used it, but I think that people really enjoy it.
I've never tried it.
It would kind of freak me out. Maybe not. Yeah, I don't know. Just because like dating apps in general freak me out. So
Understandable. I get it.
Oh, this is a good one. How do you forgive someone when you were never taught or shown forgiveness? I think number one, God. I leaned on God so much when I was struggling with forgiveness and understanding almost like it is not my job to hold this grudge. It is not my job to get revenge. God saw, like,
yeah.
God, like it. I just need to trust God, not necessarily in like a vengeful way, like, oh, go get him. But
yeah. I am obviously a firm believer in karma. I always say that. But when it comes to forgiveness, I forgive everybody when anybody does me wrong, but I don't forget it. And it's like, I think as a Christian, and like my Christian value is that I know forgiveness is an important thing, and that I don't hold on to hateful feelings and negative feelings, because it doesn't give me happiness, it doesn't give me joy, and it doesn't give me good energy. And so when, again, like cutting the fat and the fluff, like I let go of all those negative feelings that I have towards people, because I don't want to be angry at you. I don't want to be upset with you. I don't want to be mad at you. And so I'm not going to hold on to those feelings and like have this resentment towards you, because it doesn't make me feel good. Like, yes, what you did to me is probably very wrong, but I'm not going to allow how I feel about you to make me feel any worse.
yeah. And I think people confuse forgiveness with forgetting, just like Taylor said, but forgiveness isn't for the person. It's for you. It's for you, so you can move on with your life. Because if you are holding on to all of that, the only person you're affecting is yourself. Like, not that person. They literally have no idea. And I also, just one last thing, just because you've never been taught or shown forgiveness doesn't mean that you can't yourself do it.
That was great.
Thanks.
Snaps.
Thank you. I struggled with it. So both of you seem to have such great understanding partners. When did you each tell your partner you love them? And was it immediately after they said it to you? Love you, ladies. Love you.
Love you. I knew immediately, like early on, that I loved Max, because I just saw the way he cared for me, and he loved as deeply as I loved. And it's something that I never felt before. And it was, again, like it was so pure. And like the way he loved me was so intentional. And it was insane to me. Like, it's still a whirlwind. Like, I can't believe, like, I'm so lucky to like be loved by this man. The way I told Max I loved him, I was the first one. I was drunk. It was Heidi's birthday. She was feeding us shots. It's not my fault. And Mona told me to do it. And
oh no.
I I remember Mona's like, just say it. Like, and like, if he doesn't say anything, like, oh, well. And I was like, so Mona, obviously not the best advice. I remember I had a shot, and I was like, cheers, I love you. And he just was like, what'd you say? And like, I took the shot, and I was like, I looked at Mona, I was like, I'm going to go run into oncoming traffic right now. Thank you. I'm leaving the club, and I'm going to go run into the traffic on the street. Yeah, he didn't say it back, because I think that was not the right time for me to say that at all. I wish I didn't have said it that way, but that's just the way the cookie crumbled and kind of happened. And I think he knew I was upset. Like, she's sweating.
I'm just getting a little warm.
I think he knew I was like upset, not upset at the situation, but I was just like, I felt stupid and I wish I hadn't said it. And then like a couple days later, like I think I brought it up and I was like trying to have a conversation about it and he kind of shut it down. And I felt like I was the only one in love. And like I've had that feeling before in past relationships and that was a downfall where I felt like I was the only one in the relationship and I didn't want to feel that way. And Max hasn't really ever told a girl he loved them before. So it's like, I didn't understand it. Like and Mona had to help me through it. 'Cause she's like, Taylor, he really never loved anybody before. Like he didn't really he's told somebody he's loved them, but like he wasn't in love with them, if that makes sense. And I was like, no, I understand. And so I like tried having a conversation with him about it. And like, it just didn't happen the way I wanted to. And I like, basically was like, I feel like I'm in by myself and like I don't want to be alone.
I just realized I'm smiling. Not funny.
Yeah, no, not funny. I was like, I don't want to feel alone in the relationship. I don't want to feel like it's one-sided in love and like I don't like that feeling and maybe I need to take a step back. And like we had this whole conversation and it was right before bed and I'm like laying on my side and he like is right behind me and he's like puts his arm around me. He's like, I do love you. And I was like, I stiffened up. I was like,
could you repeat that?
I was like, and he's like, I like turn back around. I like look at him. And he's like, I do love you. I am in love with you. And he's
like, why didn't you say it sooner?
I was like, why are you hiding it from me? I was like, I literally having like an existential crisis. And I was like, I love you too. And then now obviously we're still in love.
Now they're getting married. Gosh. I think Ryan said it first, and it was a very similar situation. I knew I loved Ryan way before this. Like, I remember telling one of my coworkers, I was like, I heart him. And she was like, you do? And I was like, yeah. And she's like, does he know that? And I was like, mm-mm. But there was a morning when Ryan, he was leaving for work, and I had spent the night, and he gave me a hug and like picked me up, and he said, like, I gotta go. Like, I love you. And I remember he like picked me up and like slammed me back onto the bed, like and playfully.
Bye.
And because it was such a shock, because again, Ryan that's just not who he was.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my God. And I didn't want to freak him out by saying it back. So I just kind of was like, maybe he didn't mean to. And then I have a screenshot on my phone still. He texted me after he got to work and was like, sorry, I said I love you. I didn't mean to freak you out. And I was like, no, like you didn't. I just didn't know if that was meant for me or like if it was meant for Charlie. Like I was like, I do love you. And then we didn't really like say it after that for a long time. And then like way later, we were kind of in a rough patch, and he was like I'm in love with you. And then like that was that. I was like, okay. But it was something that like I think Ryan takes that very, very seriously, and so I respected it. Yeah,
it's not like a light thing. It's not a light topic.
Yeah, and then that was, but I still have that screenshot. He's like, I didn't mean to scare you, and I was like, I'm actually melting.
I'm in the bed, like still in the same
position. He left, and I was like, oh my God. And later he told me that he texted, this is a weird situation, but Ryan is still good friends with his only girlfriend that he ever had at like high school. I'm like, I love her too. Her name's Lacey. And he texted her and was like, I told her I loved her. And she was like, do you love her? And he was like, yeah, but she didn't say it back. And she was like, maybe she's just intimidated.
Maybe you scared her and she didn't think you were being serious.
It's like, could you just run that back one more time? Okay, this last one. Taylor briefly touched on her moisturizing body care routine last episode. Can you give us a breakdown of what you do to maintain hydrated skin? Taylor hooked me up with this, so I'm gonna let her.
I care so much about hydration in my skin and my face foremost, but my body is very important to me. Actually, Max literally today was talking to me about all my moisturizers. He's like, you just have so many oils, and I do.
Ryan hates it. He's like, you're always so greased up.
I'm like, at least I'm gonna be wrinkly and old. You're welcome. You're gonna have a hot wife for the rest of your life. Hello.
And I smell good.
And I smell delicious. Okay, so I use a very hydrating like body wash first and foremost. I'm like, are you writing these down?
No, I was gonna.
I was like, are you writing this down?
It's Palmer's, right?
Palmer's. Yeah. But I use L'Occitane. So I do like just like a normal body wash, and then like with a loofah, to like exfoliate and everything. And then I use L'Occitane. It's like shower oil. Love Love, 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 love it. It smells so good, 1. And 2, it's really good and hydrating for your skin, especially if you're shaving. Great for that. Use that. Then I get out. I towel dry. Then I take, so right now I'm using Bum Bum Cream because that's what I have. But what is?
Tree Hut?
I think it's Tree Hut. And it's like this big like tub of lotion. I used to use Hemp's, is like spun vanilla. Jenna got me on that.
I love Hemp's too.
Yeah. And so if Hemp's, it's spun vanilla if I'm wearing that. And then
Tree Hut body butter, yeah.
Tree Hut body butter is like what I was using for the longest time, and I still use it. But right now I'm using Bum Bum Cream because that's what I have. I use that. I take like a huge glob of it, and I take my Palmer's coconut oil. This is a game changer. This is the best thing in the entire world because it makes your fragrance stay on, and your skin is like, my skin is soft and like smooth and supple and like hydrated. Like no ashy legs, no ashy knees. I look great. Even in the winter. I might be a little pale right now, but I look great. I take a glob of my lotion, and then I put oil in it, and I rub it together, and I lather it all over my body. And I do that morning and night.
Oh, it just feels like a hug.
Yeah.
It's so amazing.
I feel so good and hydrated, and like my skin feels so soft. And like I used to never use lotion. Like I would like put lotion on my legs and everything, but like never on my hands and anything. My mom has the softest hands. And so I started like, I really want to like have great skin, and I want to maintain my skin. And so I like put all of these like oils and lotions on my body to like hydrate myself and keep myself like nice looking.
This is so weird and random, but sometimes if I'm dehydrated, like if I have not drank enough water, this was me last night, before I get in bed, I always moisturize like my feet and hands and legs. And I was like, it feels like my body is like I feel less dehydrated.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe there's science to that, but
no, there is. It's just like, the thing is too, like a lot of times, like when people like, oh, I have oily skin, and they're like, I can't use like a moisturizer because I have oily skin. I'm like, no, you need to use a moisturizer because your skin is oily because it's over creating oils because your skin is dehydrated. So actually your skin needs more hydration than you think. It's not just because your skin is oil, it's like creating excess oil. It's creating excess oil because it's dehydrated. So you need to hydrate your skin. And of course you need to start drinking more water. And once you drink more water, you feel better.
Amen.
Amen.
Yeah, Taylor has plugged me on all of that stuff.
I'm a big beauty skincare. I mean, I worked at Sephora, so like I learned so much tips and tricks about skincare, makeup, fragrance, body care.
That was my shoe.
That's fine. Body care, all that stuff, because I'm like, I worked there, so I had to learn all these tips, and now I have all this knowledge and useful knowledge that I to this day use.
It clearly works.
Yeah.
You have the best skin.
Oh, thank you. Right now, my skin's really, why I think I have high cortisol, my skin's very like sensitive, dry, and like I'm having horrible breakouts. Yes, it's that time of the month, so obviously I'm having bad breakouts, but like I have like little bumps and I never get bumps, and I'm like, something's wrong. I have like a little zit here and I never get zits.
Why don't you go get blood work?
I need to.
Just to make sure that everything is good. You can go to Quest Diagnostics. I think it's right by Sushi Masa.
Okay.
Yeah, I think you should do that, because it'll either be that like everything's normal. Ryan can look at it for you. Ryan is really good at all that stuff.
That I was gonna have. So Max got his blood work done, and May looked at it for him.
Yeah, never mind. You got it.
And I'd be like, please, ma'am, you're a nurse. Let me know.
She's a nurse practitioner, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Boss bitch.
Yeah, she's a badass. I want to have May on the podcast. I don't know what we talk about with her because she's so smart.
I would feel like such an idiot.
I'd be like, huh? But no, like I love May. She's just a great conversationalist, and she's so smart and so insightful on so many different things. One of the people I want to have on, we've talked about it, is Rachel.
Yes.
Not my sister, but Rachel Solerberg. She is a nurse injector. She owns a med spa. She's just a boss babe in general and just so smart, so kind. She actually was on Married to Medicine.
Really?
She was on Married to Medicine Houston. Yeah.
I need to watch that.
Yeah.
I would love to have her on.
Yeah, she wants to come on. I think she's a fun conversation. She's just a good time too. And I think it's like why she decided to become a nurse injector rather than just like an RN.
Yeah, if I would have finished my nursing, I would have done that.
Injected?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I wish I would have known at the time.
Yeah.
I just was like, no, I don't want to have to go through the blood and the.
No, thank you. But yeah.
Anyways.
Anywho, this was such a fun episode. It was just a little quick Valentine's episode for you guys. We hope you enjoyed it. It was so fun.
Yes, it was a blast.
We loved it. We loved it. If you haven't, go check out our other episodes. They're all on YouTube and on Spotify. I'm still trying to figure out. Max is going to talk to Chase about why we're not on Apple, because there's no reason we shouldn't be on Apple. So we will figure that out very, very soon. But I hope you guys enjoyed this week. I hope you guys have fun on the Super Bowl. Have a great Valentine's Day.
The best. And comment down below what your Valentine's Day plans are. Any tips, self-love, anything.
Any of your Valentine's horror stories.
Join me in the horror story.
Yeah, please let us know. We'd love to hear it. Thanks for tuning in with us. Tuning in, not tuning in. Make sure you subscribe. Ring the bell for notifications. Give us a huge thumbs up. Leave us a comment down below. Go give us a 5-star on Spotify and Apple. And make sure you're following us on our socials, which we'll also link down below. We love you guys so much.
Love you.
Thank you. And we will see you guys next time. Bye. Peace.
Over and out.
Peace and blessings.
How'd we do on time? Oh, perfect.
You better talk nice to me, I'm in your head, I invest. That's a short-term fee, got it locked, I'm the best. Well, at least that's what I think. Give me props when I rap. If you up, I leave.